Okay, welcome back to Endzone Live here on Philly Sports Network with myself, Liam Jenkins. Still in rain delay here in Philadelphia. Lincoln Financial Field, the venue for the Eagles season opener, and we've got plenty to get through though. It gives us an opportunity to talk about this team, to talk about what people are going to be experiencing and looking at why this game is so important for Nick Foles, for the offense, for the defense, for the coaches, and we had Michael Lombardi on the outside inside just yesterday. We need to talk about the fact that this may be a bit of a process for the Eagles. They may not come out all guns blazing looking like the defending world champions. There could be a big learning curve right here. So just give us a few moments. If you're in the live chat, let me know who's here. I want to see as many of you guys talking as possible. Let's get this discussion rolling. We want this to be, you know, the biggest thing that we have here at Philly Sports Network. This is something new to view the games. It's going to be a different way to interact with us. And of course, I mean, no other beat writer is going to sit and share their thoughts live as the game goes on. That's what we want to change. So if you are in the chat, if you're experiencing this live with us, let us know. And let's get some conversation flowing. What are you looking for from tonight's game? Just while I try and A, stock up on coffee, B, make sure my internet's okay, and C, prepare us for what's going to be an undoubtedly long night of footballing action. Plenty to come here at Philly Sports Network. Okay, so we're just going to try and get his link shared out and everything prepared, but how are you all feeling? If you're in this chat now, if you're going to be joining this live stream, let me know. Oh, it's actually 7 of you here, so I'm trying to just view this chat on my phone and get all the admin, the boring stuff out of the way. But where are you watching this from? Are you at a bar? Are you at your home? Are you in the man cave? Is the Eagles man cave complete? Let me know what you're doing today. Again, this is something completely new that we trialed in preseason last week against the New York Jets. We now face a very different task, obviously, with the Atlanta Falcons coming to town. What are we looking for today? For me, the big thing comes and it ends with the tight ends, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. There is no Richard Rodgers. That is being drastically underrated. And against the linebacker corps led by the likes of Deion Jones, we could begin to see a few struggles from this Eagles offense. We may begin to see that Nick Foles' security blankets are going to be smothered as they were in 2016 with Carson Wentz, because the perimeter threats outside just suddenly aren't there. Because Alshon Jeffrey's no longer there, because Mac Hollins may no longer be there. It's going to be a very different scenario indeed. This offense has to adjust very quickly. Again, if you're in this chat, let us know what you're watching today. I think the fans are returning to their seats in Philadelphia is what the signal has been from the team via social media. So definitely a sign we're moving in the right direction. But still, you've got to wonder, there's got to be something along the way. What I would like to do though, before we get into anything else, is just show you guys actually what's going on. Because of course there has been a lot of changes over the last week or so. And as I said in this previous edition of the stream, before the last one kind of went down due to my internet, we had Michael Lombardi on the Outside Insider podcast not too long ago, just yesterday, talking about the Eagles and why this game is going to be so important, why this stands out as such a big sort of moment for this team. This is all or nothing for the Eagles. They have to come out swinging. They've got to come out and make an impact, but it may take some time, and it's got to be the defense that sets the tone, especially in these conditions. So I will just try and find a preview. Whether or not it's going to let me put it in here is a very different scenario altogether. Let's see what I can do. I'm just trying to find this video file for you all right now. But again, if anyone listened to the Outside Insider podcast from yesterday or seen any of the articles that we've been putting out this week over at Philly Sports Network, it'll be interesting to see. If not, here is a preview.
The Eagles are not where they were this time last year. I think everybody would be ready to admit that. But that doesn't really matter as much. Where they need to be, where they were last year, is in December, and that's what counts the most. It's about culture, and when you don't have a great culture in your building and you're changing every 3 years and you're trying to do different things, you're never going to win. And I think that's the case in Tampa. They can rush the passer, and I think it's going to be very challenging to Nick Foles. He's going to have to play a lot better. This is an interesting game because Foles was playing at the highest level last year, and right now after that Cleveland game, he's not.
Falcons game. How emotional is that going to be for the Eagles and the Falcons seeing that banner? As someone that's been on the other side of that and seeing maybe the AFC Championship banner, seeing with the Patriots what those Super Bowl rings mean to people, do you play as the winning team with a bit more emotion, or is it the underdog on the team coming in knowing that one more play from Julio Jones who had not fell over and it could have been them? Wait, but I've just realised my mic was muted this entire time. That's what you want, isn't it? But that was a preview of what's to come, as well as me breaking the stream. How's that for professionalism at 1:20 in the morning, right? That's what you want to see. Again, if you're in the chat, let me know. But what I liked about that chat with Michael Lombardi yesterday was that he didn't mess around. Was that, you know what? He's hated by most of Philadelphia fans because of those comments about Doug Peterson last year. For him to come out and go, do you know what? I was wrong. He developed as a coach when Carson Wentz went down. The way he molded his scheme to fit his quarterback spoke volumes. That's a big thing for someone to, in that kind of limelight, who's been around the league for 30 years. But the way he spoke about Nick Foles, the way he spoke about this team, was that we may not find out the true identity of the Eagles until October, November, or even December, when it really matters. And the reason for that is that this team is banged up. It's coming limping into week one. There is no Alshon Jeffrey. Mac Hollins is now on injured reserve. On defense, there are a few injuries that remain. One of those, of course, being Brandon Graham, who had off-season surgery as well. There are a few reasons to be slightly apprehensive about this team. And at the Falcons, who are a bit fresher, maybe a bit hotter off pre-season. Shan Muka is in the chat. Nice to see you, my man. We're underdogs once again. Absolutely, the injuries are beginning to filter through. But can the Eagles do it? They've been here before. It's all about next man up. And while we're on that sort of vibe, we already know that one of the big areas of this team to keep an eye on will be linebacker today. You've got Nate Jerry outside on one area. On the other side of Jordan Hicks, you're going to have Camus Grugier-Hill, last year's leading special teams tackler. And what an opportunity that is going to present for both of those guys. So who players are you going to watch today? Bearing in mind the Falcons with two running backs in Coleman and Freeman are going to try and catch the Eagles out. They want to establish that run. They want to make life a bit difficult for Philadelphia. Will they be able to do it by running the ball? Can the Eagles linebackers clean up as they were really unable to before? This could be a big drastic change. We'll see in a short few moments time. But let us know, again, what you're looking for. Let's share this out. This experience is designed not just to have me rambling for a few hours, but to have you guys give your feedback as well. You shape this stream just as much as I do. This is what makes it special. You don't see this sort of thing everywhere. It's can I interact with you guys? Let's keep up with all the live chat and everything else in between. You guys shape this stream. So if you're new, if you're interested in this, mute the television. Let's have a discussion. Let's get a few call-ins in the chat. Let's see if we can really mold a broadcast experience like that doesn't exist at the moment. So if you're interested in that, let me know. If not, enjoy the game, guys. But if you do want to come in and be a part of this, it would be amazing to have you as part of this experience. So we're still waiting the kickoff now. I think tension is building at an alarming rate. There's already been a lot of excitement today, a lot of tailgating, a lot of drinking, I'm sure, by the Philadelphia fans who are celebrating the arrival of football once again. It's been so long. It's scary to think that it's been February. We're already in September. It feels like only yesterday that it was Super Bowl 52. And this team has changed drastically since that day as well. So much has almost flipped on its head. From personnel to coaches, bearing in mind Frank right now with the Indianapolis Colts, Mike Groh, this is his first game as offensive coordinator for the Eagles. this is going to be an interesting opportunity for him to see, can he take the ball by the horns? Will he be able to really leave his fingerprints on this offense? There's a very big chance he will. And this is no surprise. The update now, the kickoff for the game is set at 9:05 p.m. Oh, a lovely and early 2 a.m. start for me then. This is going to be lots of fun, isn't it? Can't wait to see how this one goes. We'll see. We'll see just how quickly things change. But I believe with the ball being maybe a little bit slippy, expect a heavy presence on the run game. Don't expect the Eagles to be challenging deep downfield early on. This game does have potential now to be focused on establishing fundamentals in my eyes. If the ground really is a bit uneven, if the turf's going to be kind of slippy and slidey, we're expecting to see a few cases of adversity. Again, if you're just joining this chat, welcome. This whole stream is designed to see you just come in, discuss the game as it happens. If a play happens and you notice something, tell me, we'll talk about it. This is a live reaction stream, essentially, where you can be a part of something you don't get on NBC, you don't get on Fox. And yes, the artwork's great. The idea is that you are focused watching the game, not what we see on the YouTube screen. So get a YouTube stream or a live stream of the game, settle down, watch the NFL, and in the meantime, on your phone, just have this discussion with us. Get in the live chat, and we'll have a very unique viewing experience for sure. Just out of interest, how many of you guys were actually in the live stream last week for the New York Jets? If you're in watching this now, just give me a hello in the chat. I want to see what we're working with. See how many Eagles fans are going to get raging with us tonight, who are going to be up through the early hours of the morning if necessary. For me, it'll be the late ones. But if you're watching this stream, give me a hello. Type someone in the chat. Let's spark this discussion. This is all about you guys. It's not about me. If I have to do this on my own, I think I may lose my voice a little bit. So, come on, keep me sane, guys. If you're in this chat, drop me a message. Just find out exactly the sort of live audience you're working with. How excited are you for this game? Is it a fly, Eagles fly? Are you on your roof now with a little eagle outfit jumping around? Have you got a lucky jersey that you're wearing tonight? What's the score? What are you looking at in terms of this game? We're just trying to finish sharing this out, and there we go. We've got a guy in the chat. Nice to see you. It's a Grizzled Nuts. Nice to see you in the chat. Big thank you as well if you are just joining us. 3,000 subscribers. That is incredible. I promised myself I wouldn't get too soppy before tonight's game, but it's kind of hard not to, right? 3,000 of you are now in this. I know, man. It's a real sucky experience with the delay, but hey, more chance to look at a grey background, right? But to get 3,005 subscribers on YouTube is really a blessing for me. I did not think this channel would ever take off the way it has. The focus has always been phillysportsnetwork.com, where I put the written content. So to see the YouTube really begin to resonate with you guys and find a whole new audience is just amazing. So thank you for being a part of that over the last few months. It's only going to get bigger and better as time goes on. But yeah, we're going to try and make this as fun as possible. We've only got around 15 minutes now, maybe 20 minutes until the game is actually going to go live. So still plenty of time to get some snacks. I mean, I've got a nice cup of coffee, but I'm going to need your help for this one. So if you are in this chat, join me and Grizzled Nuts. Join myself and Shan Muka. We need to talk shop, right? All I can do, I suppose, in the meantime, is maybe show you a couple of videos I've got saved of different things. What can I show you to pass 15 minutes? I do have a video of, I believe, Michael Bennett versus Lane Johnson. I've got a whole array, and I'm not too sure how to go about getting these into this stream. So give me a second. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different now, which may or may not work. I'm not sure. This could go one of two ways. We could get completely thrown off, because obviously now we're going to be streaming content that's not technically, so it is the NFL's, but I wonder if we just go, can I get more than one? Oh, it's probably going to make us do them all, isn't it? So let's have a look at this one. I'm just going to find a bunch of clips of Lane Johnson versus Michael Bennett. Here we go. Here's a view from the Seahawks. Look at this. You don't get this anywhere else, right? Just a view of Michael Bennett versus Lane Johnson against the Seahawks. So I've got about hundreds of these clips on my actual computer because I find them really interesting. I was going to make a video kind of detailing this break. It's tough to get started on YouTube. Got to keep at it. You ever talk with any of the Eagles YouTubes like Bitter Birds? No, because honestly, for me, it's always been about the written content. Let me work on his volume as well for you. I'm thinking it's because the microphone's a little bit out of sync, but if I whack this up, that may help a bit. But yeah, I would say, honestly, the written content's always been a key. Like, phillysportsnetwork.com has had over 5 million views at this point. That's always been our base, and we've only just started toying out. Hey, Dennis, my man, nice to see you in this chat. I'm going to try and find as many Lane Johnson and Michael Bennett videos as we can. So let's find some more, shall we? It's annoying I can't add a whole group of these in. I think all I can do is maybe add a film room from the other day, and that's not really going to get where we want. Oh, what's this one? Let's find this one. Hold on. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Let's go to Media Source 2. We'll browse, and we're going to put in... What is this? What have I got here for you? I think this could be Lane Johnson versus Ryan Kerrigan. Oh, it is. Here we are. Lane Johnson snaps versus Ryan Kerrigan from week 1 last year. So this time a year ago, Lane Johnson was absolutely ferocious, number 65, as you guys will all know, in stopping Ryan Kerrigan. Now, people have struggled against that young man. In my opinion, one of the best at what he does in the NFL, but Johnson mauls him to the ground on several occasions. And against this Falcons pass rush, they're not the biggest, they're not the strongest, but those outside linebackers are going to cause problems. And Lane Johnson's presence tonight alone is going to be absolutely key for keeping Nick Foles upright. Because bearing in mind, is Bella's somehow in the chat at 148. Good to see Bella in somehow still awake, watching all kinds of snaps with Lane Johnson right now. I really like your bugs. I really appreciate that, Dennis. Thank you for keep. I think it doesn't help. I'm kind of sat on my sofa and I move to the floor when I get a bit uncomfortable because it's quite far away. But yeah, to see Johnson now at his very best. Like last season, the man was absolutely elite, and he's got to keep that up. This Falcons pass rush again, it's not the most lethal in the world, but it can do damage, especially up the middle. Brad Puck is in the chat. Nice to see you, my man. Let's get some other sources in here as well. What other clips have I got on my computer that I can show you just while waiting for this game to get underway? Because, my God, if we've got to wait until, what was it going to be, 2 or 9 p.m., which is 2 a.m. my time, I'm going to need more coffee. So I need to get ready for that. I wish I could maybe add more, but we've obviously got the Von Miller stuff as well. Or what about this? We've obviously heard a lot about Khalil Mack recently. What if we go with Lane Johnson versus Khalil Mack? I think that's only a short spree. That was a really difficult clip to see. I wonder if we can play it again. You never know. There it is. And you can see Matt break inside. I wish I could slow that down and edit it. Unfortunately, the software's not going to let me do that right away. It will have to be a breakdown video. But that was a sign of something I was working on at least. If you haven't seen the latest Eagles film room yet, this man may make a bit of an impact. So let me find a way to put this in. You can tell. I mean, I'm going to have to be a TV producer at some point. This is getting some next level stuff here. Ah, hang on. I could do this. Give me a moment. I've got an idea. Right, this looks a bit weird. Don't worry, because all I'm going to do is all of this, and we're just going to hit play. Maybe. This might work. This could be awful, but he was taken to the field just for warm-ups. Oh no, oh no, oh I've opened 30 files, oh I'm going to break my computer, oh god, right, that hasn't worked, hasn't worked, oh dear, oh god, that's really bad. Alright, we're getting that off, that's going, we're going back to where we know. That, oopsie daisy. Right, back here, I tried to do it, I tried to get cocky, I tried to show you guys like 30 videos of Lane Johnson, didn't quite work out the way I planned. But with the Eagles taking the field, before we do, let's just have one last look. So I've still got some tricks up my sleeve. I can still show you guys a whole array of bits and pieces that I've got on my computer. So the question is, what have I got lying around that hasn't been deleted or uploaded yet? But as he was saying, all right, what are your score predictions for tonight's game? That's a big one, isn't it? What are you looking for? Obviously, the spread in this game started out Eagles 4-point favourites. They're now down to, I think, 1. The under-over sits at 44 points. So if you're betting this game, where are you looking? Where's your money going right now? Let me know, because I'm just playing the under on points. I'm not sure about in terms of score, but we're almost... Oh, NBC. Oh, it's been a while since you've seen football, isn't it? And there he is, Doug Crusher Peterson. As the Eagles get ready to take the field. What are we making of Doug Peterson as well? Over the last week or two, he's been very, very stressed with the Philadelphia media. Was not happy to learn that his starting quarterback was leaked to the media before he had it his way and broke it to them. So Nick Foles starting tonight, his first competitive action since Super Bowl 52, in which he was named the MVP. This is going to be monumental for Foles, because bear in mind, he said he wants to be named a starter again. To do that, he's got to play well. It all starts with the season opener. A lot of eyes are on Nick Foles tonight. Got to hold the Falcons to under 17. I would say that is a very good observation. Lovely way. Good to see you in the chat. Not too sure what you're getting at, but hey, thought that counts, right? Offense could... Yeah, and this is what Michael Lombardi was saying last night on my podcast, was that we're not going to know the identity of this team until maybe November, December time. With Jeffrey out, with Mac Hollins out, losing Richard Rodgers to IR, Carson Wentz is not going to be starting for at least a few weeks. There's going to be rust. Like, Wentz hasn't had time to build that rapport with the receivers and tight ends. You're going to see a bit of rustiness probably in the first couple of series of this game. Don't be surprised to see a few 3-and-outs, at least to begin here. I think Falcons are going to be a team to what this could be a real bogey team, because second season now under Steve Sarkisian. Matt Ryan, bear in mind, it seems a lot more familiar and comfortable when he's been around a coordinator for a bit longer. It's easy to remember with Matt Ryan, many people were ready to give up on him. Many people were ready to turn their back on Matty Ice, and then just before the Falcons peaked, obviously, things began to change, and he puts in some of the greatest games that we've ever seen him play. So now with that sense of familiarity once again, with two running backs around him in Freeman and Coleman, we're going to see a very different sort of stream. So yeah, Grizzle Nut says, yeah, last season took a running game a couple of weeks to even get going. Oh, definitely. I don't bring back those memories. It is absolutely terrifying to think that the Eagles can get it figured out. And it took them I think a solid 3 or 4 weeks for Peterson to work out that balancing the offense was the way forward. To maybe have it 30 carries, 30 passing attempts. Going overboard just was never, ever going to work. And it really did make a difference. The impact that had on that team of balancing the run, taking the strain off of Carson Wentz, not only opened up the rest of the field of play, but it just forced the offensive line to play to their strengths. And the Eagles have one of the best O-lines in football. There's no reason that would never work. But what a game this could be. A revenge game for the Falcons, who've just seen in front of their nose the Super Bowl banner drop. And what if you're Julio Jones, if you are Matt Ryan, you're standing there, you're watching that banner come down, and you're thinking, if I hadn't slipped on that play, if that ball was a little higher, that could be us. One play defined that game for the Falcons. The Falcons ran the Eagles to the ground. It was very, very close. The Eagles came out on top, but it wasn't easy. It was difficult. We've got 15 people watching. Guys, if you're in this stream, right, give me a shout. Like, get in this chat with us, have some fun. Let us know what your observations are. Like, I don't want to see any of you just ghosting this. Come on, get involved. This is what this stream is for. Any observations you've got about this game as it's happening, you get them in the chat. This is the kind of community we want to build. I want to see as many of you guys raging, losing your mind, getting passionate, letting it all out in here as possible. So let's go. If you're in this chat watching, if you don't have an account, quickly make one. Takes 2 seconds. If you do, I want to see your name pop up. That's the aim for me right now. So Matt Ryan chatting with the offense, and that's going to be a very big game for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. For those guys, obviously last time out against the Eagles, Julio had a 101-yard game. I think he's had 100 yards against the Eagles for 4 games in a row he's played against them now. Grizzle Nut says, I think this game will come down to execution and play calling. Going to be interesting to see how Groh can do as offensive coordinator. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he has been very lucky to, obviously a relation to Al Groh, but he's got one of those reputations as one of the biggest upcoming personnel guys in the league. He's regarded as a guy that will be a head coach one day. He's got all that potential there. He learned under Sean McVay, wide receiver coach, helped turn around the career of some notable Rams wide receivers. And then comes to Philadelphia, links back up with Alshon Jeffrey after they spent time in Chicago. The rest is history for what he did with Nelson Aguilar. He earned that promotion. And I think when you look at the way he's been learning the game during his collegiate and his alma mater, having been a former quarterback as well, which is something Peterson cherishes. We're going to see a lot of plays that we wouldn't normally expect, but maybe not right away, purely just because that this isn't quite the team ready for it yet. Nick Foles may be limited. He's not Carson Wentz. He's not going to be able to get and make those plays that Wentz will, because Wentz is some sort of magic man. Keanu Neal, the man most famous for an illegal hit on Jordan Matthews that made every Eagles fan stand up in 2016. He's come a long way since then. Can defense get consistent pressure on Matt Ryan? Good question. And without Timmy Jernigan, this is what worries me. As you can see, Malcolm Jenkins breaking down the huddle. Guys, NFL football is back. NFL football is back once again. Huddles are being broken down. Hold on, wait a minute. You thought we were finished. We're just getting started. We go to an ad break right now. But this could be everything. This is the beginning of the end, or it's the beginning of a new era. This is a Philadelphia Eagles team that's playing for it all. It's an Eagles team that has got a championship ring. They want a second. This is no longer just about pride. This is no longer a team of underdogs. This is a team of guys with targets on their back that want to prove the world wrong again for the right reasons, that they can sustain success. For Roseman, for Peterson, for Foles, it's can they hit the ground running? Can they let the emotion of seeing that Super Bowl banner being draped in Lincoln Financial Field with a sold-out crowd roaring at its arrival, can they get that emotion, leave it at the sideline and execute as normal? This may be Peterson's toughest challenge yet, but we're minutes away from Eagles football here at Lincoln Financial Field. If you're not in this YouTube stream yet, I don't know what you're doing, but get on it. There is a link on my Twitter page. Get on this stream right now. Discuss the game with us. If you're on Facebook, like us at Philly Sports Network. This is going to be a lot of fun and a very long evening. NFL football is back once again. It's going to be a very interesting night. I still don't get the American commercials though, on a completely unrelated note. That's going to be something I need to get around. Super Bowl commercials, nothing will ever beat those for sure. But goodness me. The Eagles Super Bowl banner did look spectacular, didn't it? 2017 World Champions. Although, you know, being in the United Kingdom, I'd say that if they did face an English NFL team, they would have definitely lose. So, no, I'm only kidding. But, I mean, it's an incredible feeling. For fans that go to that venue time and time again, that are there week in, week out, from September to January, throughout their lives. You know, it is very much a cultural thing. Very much a cultural thing. This is something that a whole city has been on hold for so long now. So the question is, will the Eagles hit the ground running? We'll find out very shortly, guys. Kickoff nearly upon us. This feels so different to not be live tweeting this game, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's almost a calm before the storm right now. Your name's Liam Wright. You're going to the game in London. Yes, yes. So my name's Liam Jenkins. I will be going to the game in London. I'm not sure whether it's going as press yet. I'm sure if I get those passes, it will be unveiled in a big emotional video thanking all of you. But yeah, the plan is to attend the game at least. I want to put an event on for fans. If anyone's travelling to that London game, let me know. I want to make this as big as possible. Get some Eagles events there. Meet a lot of you guys that have been able to give me this platform. So I'll be at the game for sure. To me, when that game was announced, it felt like a Super Bowl. And as the national anthem is played, how important is this to symbolise these communities right now? Obviously, with all the news about Colin Kaepernick as well. You never knew how this was going to go down, but so far, no controversy, just focused and ready for battle. This is a war between two teams that are going to leave it all out there. They've gotten to know each other well over the last few years. You just kind of want to soak this in, don't you? You want to soak in this is the last moment that football won't be a thing. There we go. national anthem coming to an interesting end, I think. Although without much audio on my end, I couldn't be able to tell you if I'm brutally honest, because we don't want to get done for copyright. That's not a game we're willing to play. When and how did I become an Eagles fan? I became an Eagles fan when I was 14 years old, and essentially through playing Madden. I was bought an Xbox. It was the only game I had on it. It was like Madden 07 or 08, something like that. And I just randomly selected a team, and from there, the rest was history. I started watching highlights on YouTube, and then eventually games, falling in love with the culture of the city and the underdog status, and with a passion for journalism, thought, you know what, I want to make a change, because being over here, you only consume the same amount of media, right? It's the same few outlets over and over again. So to actually be a change and be a part of that was a really big deal to me. And 4 years, this is my 4th season covering the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel much more of an analyst and not less of a fan at this point. But there are your captains. And Camu Grugia-Hill a captain as well. That's big. That's really big. The special teams captain with Chris Marigo's sideline is a man that everyone overlooked. I remember writing an article on him. Someone said it would be pointless because he's going to get cut by the end of the off-season. He then was the most impactful special teamer for the Eagles as we await the coin toss. Can I get away with audio here? Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Maybe not. I don't know. We're going to try and sneak some audio in as well. I don't know. Yeah, this might get thrown off. I don't want to do that, so we're going to mute it, unfortunately. I need to get a pair of headphones. Coins in the air. I don't know why they move the camera down at the coin. It's not light. We can see what's going on. Patrick Hoffman, nice to see you, man. Lovely to see you in the chat. I know you've been following me on Twitter for a while. Thank you for joining this YouTube stream. If you're in this stream, you're not in this chat yet, get in it. Make a difference. Come on. Brent Selleck's out there. What a view. Brent Selleck is out there with the rest of the team. That's so cool. You love to see that, as is Donny. Oh, what a sight. Donny Jones and Brent Selleck, both there. What a moment that is for the Eagles. You know what? I'm just going to go and lump my bankroll on the Eagles winning tonight, just because Brent Selleck was there. That's a great view. You always want to see that. Here we go then. Dan Quinn is the current Falcons head coach. That's a man that a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on this afternoon for sure. Steve Sarkisian, another one. I love his name. I love what he stands for. I love his ethos as a coach. But there's the man that really matters. Crusher Doug Peterson with a rare smile just then. Brandon Wayne Peterson, as we said, been very stressed. He had to do a book tour, lots of signings, lots of autographs, lots of paparazzi recently. So you can understand why he may be a bit reluctant. But guys, the NFL season is officially underway. Jake Elliott kicks us off. We are live. Endzone Live is here. It's a touchback. The Falcons are on their way out. Here we go. If you're in this chat, I don't care if you've only just got an account. Let's talk. Get those opinions in here. Let's share this link out. Get some friends in. Seeing Brent on the field. Oh, it does, absolutely. You love to see it. But here come the Falcons offense. I don't want to talk over these intros, but this is it now. We know these names. Mohamed Sanu acquired from the Lions last year. Rookie Calvin Ridley. What's he going to have as an impact? Jake Matthews at left tackle is big. They also went out their way and brought in Brandon Fusco. So this has been a big push for the Atlanta Falcons to shore up this offensive line. So what are we looking at? It's 1st and 10 from their own 25. Eagles roll out in a traditional 4-3. No nickel corner just yet. They thought someone was offside. It didn't look like it. The play's blown dead. And the refs do come in with a flag in the end. But that almost got off to a bit of a tricky start. So John Hussey, 4th NFL season as a referee. No more, I guess, plagued referees for the Eagles team. And it's an offensive penalty straight away. That is interesting. That's on Paulson. So a bit of maybe pre-game jitters just there. It's easy to see why. But Matt Ryan won't have any of that. He's one of the best in the game at what he does. I mean, it's fun. A lot of people say Matt Ryan's overrated. I would argue that people focus on the Super Bowl and especially his playoff game too much. Like, Ryan is going to go and have an incredible regular season because he is unstoppable at times. The way he digests the game, the way he's able to manipulate safeties with his eyes. Very few quarterbacks can do it to his level. And on a deep shot straight away, it's those curls that we've seen again. This is a play on Jalen Mills that we see time and time again. You play corners in off coverage, you're going to get faster receivers run underneath you and make those big plays. We saw it 2016 against the Giants most notably. It's a great route by Julio. Straight off the bat on Jalen Mills is in trail. He keeps his head on a swivel. He hasn't done anything wrong, but Jones just cuts in. And look at the separation there. I mean, Mills is playing from behind. Not much he can do. He's lucky that he had a teammate to just come in and clean up. 2nd and 5 for Atlanta on this first drive. Again, it's a 2 running back set. And it's a rush outside from Julio. Oh, that's interesting. A swing to Julio. Oh, I'm ahead. Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. I would say in that case, pause the video for a couple seconds to wait till we're live and then sync yours up with the stream. That's the beauty of live, right? You can kind of pause me and have it go live with your game. If not, totally understand. Thank you so much for dropping into the stream. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you for the support and watching all the videos. And I'll try and bring some more of these as time comes on as well. First down for Atlanta. A pitch off to Devonta Freeman. And that's a bad angle by Sidney Jones. Jenkins with the saving tackle. But, oof. That's a sign of things to come. Devonta Freeman's not messing around this afternoon. Now watch his offensive line. I told you Brandon Fosco will make an impact. He pulls to the outside. He gets away and just has a tiny little chip there on Sidney Jones. That's all it takes for Freeman to get clear. Great play. Pulls in there, do the exact same. Freeman on the charge. And Ryan just tries to take a shot over the middle. And that one's going to be complete and down. And so far, Matt Ryan is looking very, very good. Now, the Eagles' defense may be themselves looking a little bit nervy right now. And my stream's just giving itself a little bit of a meltdown, so we'll try and get that up as soon as possible. But here we go. The defense trying to figure out a solution to stop this Falcons offense chewing up territory. They're already inside the opposing 50. So they're pushing towards field goal territory, which is not what we want to see. Ryan fakes the handoff, throws outside. Oh, and a rare drop there by Freeman. And maybe they're just, Ryan expecting a bit too much of his running back, perhaps. I mean, the potential was there, but that was a very interesting ball from Matt Ryan. And that's going to, for the Eagles at least, take some tempo out of this game. They've been on the back foot for most of this drive. That incompletion finally gives the Eagles defense a chance to catch its breath, settle back down, and readjust for what's going to happen ahead, because there is nothing worse than having to go through something like this. It's now 3rd and 10. In trouble. The Eagles now finally maybe beginning to feel themselves a little bit. Ryan drops back. There's pressure off the edge from Chris Long. It's not enough. Goes deep. Oh, and it's so easy. It is so easy when you've got a man like Julio Jones. And it's Ronald Darby on the tackle. But Jones just will not be stopped. He is a man that looks possessed. Big play given up there for the Eagles. And it's a great pressure. Jim Schwartz calls it well. It's a stunt you can see right around the outside. Barnett tried to bend, but Jones is just picking apart this secondary right now. And that's already his 3rd target of the game. And seeing from all these views, Julio just cuts inside. He knows it's zone. Sneaks behind Malcolm Jenkins. It's a veteran play, and the 29-year-old is just looking good. But oh my goodness me, this is getting a little bit emotional, isn't it? You've got to wonder what this game has in store. And almost straight into the end zone for 6. He stopped at the 1, but the Eagles are on the back foot and not looking good. It's going to be 2nd and goal. It has been 2 minutes. And it's now going to be a very interesting scenario. I wonder what happens if it gets to 4th and goal. What is Sark going to draw up? Would he dare do the Philly special? Could you imagine? 4th and goal, first time this season, and the Falcons run a Philly special. I mean, that would just be filth, wouldn't it? They tried to run with Freeman on 2nd and goal, and he gets swallowed up. Great play by the Eagles' stout run defense. They weren't going to let that through without too much trouble. Obviously, they're trying to keep things at bay. We've seen the Eagles' run defense before become one of the very best at what they do. But again, what we want to do is just make sure that we've got as many feedback options as possible. It's a goal line stand, so it's 4th down, and 3rd down, sorry, the Eagles on 4th and goal, Matt Ryan is going to go for it. So this is interesting. 4th and goal, Sark's saying go for it. Schwartz is there, eyes peeled. Eagles fans getting loud. Brandon Graham outside. This is big. 4th and goal. And they want to try and power it in there with Devonta Freeman. And he's trying to get outside. And a big tackle. The Eagles stop it. It's Camus. Grugier Hill. It's a 4. Oh, my word. Just like that, the link erupts. Philadelphia find a way to stop Atlanta at the post. They drive all the way down the field and they leave empty-handed. It was a calculated risk. But Camus Grugier Hill with a red zone tackle. What a play by the former New England Patriot. The Hawaiian native Camus Grugier Hill. That was just masterful play. And again, guys, if you're in this chat, let me know. What are your opinions after the first drive? If you're listening to this stream, get your opinions in the chat right now. But Ronald Darby and Sidney Jones seem to struggle against containing Julio Jones, who looks so ready to go off and get himself another big game. He's not going to settle for anything less. Now we get to see the Eagles' defense tucked away inside their own red zone. That's a big-time play. Big-time play. Eagles' defense there looking brilliant as always. Oh, it's a nice little coffee break there to cool down. That defense was so red hot towards the end. It's hard almost not to be impressed. Malcolm Jenkins has been a remarkable presence on that field then. I mean, I don't know what Sarkisian was doing, if I'm honest. Let's just take a look back at this drive, okay? So, the Falcons, 2nd and goal, run for no gain. 3rd and goal, a pass incomplete. 4th and goal, another run for no gain. That's huge. That is really huge for this team. You can only be impressed. To rebound, I mean, bear in mind, they were on the back foot. It was a very difficult spot to be in. But the Eagles' defense holds strong. And that man there, Camus Grugier Hill, who I've ranted and raved about for so long, a man with the biggest stop of the afternoon. That sideline speed. Nick Foles on the field then, 1st and 10 for this unit. Foles hands it off to Ajayi, who gets a minimal yard gain. He's going to get to about the 3 or 4 yard line there. Peter's trying to help up a fallen foe. Good to see JP back on the field, isn't it? But look at Grugier Hill on this play. This is outstanding awareness from the linebacker. He's able to get off his block, get off a second block, and then... that is hustle. That is just great play. Oh, we're going to see a Camus film room right now. You know we're going to see a Camus film room. And a pass completion there for Foles. That's going to be interesting. See how this partnership pairs up throughout the afternoon. Without Alshon Jeffrey, the Eagles receivers are in a little bit of a predicament right now. So 3rd and 4 for the Eagles. Carson Wentz on the sideline. Obviously, he would much rather be on the field with this team. It's got a sting that he's still not quite fully there yet. What are we going to see from Dallas Goedert today? What are we going to see from this Eagles team? Shall we find out? Darren Sproles lines up in the slot. Keep an eye on that. Foles throws for Sproles. It's incomplete. And it's 4th down and a little bit of a shimmy there from number 37. Big time play from the Falcons corner. But the Eagles offense trots off the field. We had a feeling this may be the case. It's Desmond Trufant, I believe, on the play. Great awareness. And there's not much you can do there if you're Darren Sproles. You're just drastically outpowered, outsized. It's the wingspan of the cornerback. And on 4th and 4, let's see what Cam Johnston can do then. Obviously, the man has been punting things into a stratosphere for so long. Where will this one end up? His first ever regular season punt now for the Eagles, replacing Donnie Jones. And it's safely... Oh, my God. Get him in. So this is just remarkable. It's to the 40. Big play. Push back. And the Falcons will start from inside their own territory, which is big. That's a 60-yard punt. There is a flag. The Eagles aren't happy with something. So who's that flag on? It's on. Ah, that's interesting. So it's should be in favour of the Eagles with a bit of luck. So the referee continues the YMCA call with 9 minutes to go. It's still 0-0. In a very English sense. Eagles offense unable to move the chains. We assume that may be the case. Unfortunately, this team have gone through quite a lot. What a scenario we're in right now, though, for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a tough, tough crowd to play against. We know how vicious the link can be. 16 of you are watching this, right? And I'm not seeing anyone in this chat. So, come on. Get yourselves involved. We've had an offensive and a defensive drive. What are your takeaways? Who's standing out? Shape this content. You want a film room? You want to see a video on a player? You tell me. Make this broadcast what you want it to be. It can be me rambling to myself for 3 hours, or we can have a big conversation. Let's go. Come on, let's get as many of you guys in here as possible. I want to see some names. Who's watching this game with me? It's 2:21 in the morning. Over here, come on. Oh, there's 48 of you watching right now. That's right. Some of you have got to get in this chat. Some of you have got to get this name in right now. The whole point of this stream is that we have the game in the foreground and we analyse it as it happens, and you guys can shape what happens on this audio stream. It's an alternative commentary shaped by you guys. Raider Bay Nation bringing his most eloquent language to the table. Great to see. And was almost as effective as the Eagles' offense on that first drive. So that just goes beautiful. I mean, he really is going next level with that. That is just what you want to see. But what can the defense do? Camu Guggia-Hill has had a brilliant start. We should have expected nothing less. We did a video on him not too long ago saying that how he could well be one of the NFL's most underrated linebackers. He could well have Pro Bowl potential. As the team's leader in special team tackles, to have that sideline to sideline potential and see that hustle. There was a similar play against the Falcons last year, in fact, that he made. and he actually traced it all the way back to the end zone and made an impact. But if you're watching this stream with us, give the video a like. I'm sure it is rated. I don't know how you would know that. I really don't know how you'd be measuring, you know, Matt Ryan's genitalia. That's not for me to judge, though. You know, maybe you know him on a personal level. But here we go. It's 1st and 10. And it's play action for Matt Ryan, who looks straight deep down the middle again. And it's all broken up by Ronald Darby. And it's intended for Mo Sanu. But I don't really think that was Darby's play. It was more to do with the fact that the ball was a bit overthrown. Destiny Viao on the field. Michael Bennett. Watch an eye for that name. That's going to be someone that could play defensive tackle, could play defensive end. But with Haloti Ngata obviously being a little bit more... I say indurable, if that's such a word. A 5-time Pro Bowler may not be able to rotate as much as Timmy Jernigan was when he was healthy. This is an Eagles channel. It's an Eagles analysis. I wouldn't class myself as a fan. Covered the team for 4 years. We do film room videos. We do a lot of different things right now. So it's all about breaking down the film. But if you're seeing stuff in this game that you want to talk about, or you've got opinions, takeaways, views, just get it in here. Anthony Rodriguez, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. This is exactly why we're here for. It's 3rd and 5 for the Falcons, who have completed 45% of third downs in 2017, highest in the NFL. That is a staggering statistic. 3rd and 5. Can the Eagles defense come up with a stop? Ryan under pressure. That's the first time he's been forced to move. He's going to run for the 1st down, though. The Eagles pass rush did their job. They got there. Great pressure by Chris Long. But Ryan shows that kind of veteran instinct, gets to the outside, and is able to move the chains for a 1st down. Bennett got good pressure as well coming into the interior. We're seeing a replay of this right now. Good hustle by the veteran, and it was that eventually that forced Ryan to move outside. But for someone that has been in the league for so long, can still move some. Another Falcons 1st down, and already they're back into Eagles territory again. We should get used to this. The defense seemingly has no answer right now, and you feel like it's only a matter of time before Julio Jones does a simple Julio Jones thing. But a Tevin Coleman handoff is going to be met by a flailing Ronald Darby, who comes soaring in to send him out to the sideline. And this is the danger of this Falcons offense. Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman are 2 very different styles of running back. They bring very different things to the table. One of them is a downhill runner that will bruise you and batter you and make you pay for any mistake you make. The other is a very different style that can get outside, that will follow those zonal concepts, hits the hole well, and is much more than just a one cut back. It's 2nd and 13 after being blown up by Ronald Darby. With 7 minutes to go. Ryan on play action. He's got a screen option there. Goes the other way. It's almost clipped down by Barnett, but it's not enough. And now storming down the sideline is Tevin Coleman. And now once again, Falcons are in enemy territory. And this time it is deep again. 2nd time in 2 drives they've got into the red zone. And you can see here on this replay that it was very nearly batted down by Derek Barnett. He got up, he had the hops to go up and pull that ball down, but just a bit high. Ryan with a Steph Curry-like flow to get that almost raindropping into the hands of Tevin Coleman there. And Foles, at some point, is going to have to play from behind by the looks of it. He can't be too happy after a stagnant first drive. 1st and goal just outside the 10. Ryan play action, rolls the other way, slings, and somehow that's complete. I'd argue that was dropped. Nate Jerry on the play, but it is caught. And it's 2nd and goal for the Falcons. Clock down to 6 minutes in the 1st quarter. Still no score as of yet. Again, there's 39 of you in this stream. Put your names in the chat. Say hello. Tell me what's up. Tell me what you're seeing. What are you looking for in this game? The whole point of this stream is that we build a broadcast together. That it's a dialogue between us. We're going to have call-ins if you'd rather have something like that where you can co-host with me. There's a lot we can do. It's early days. We want to trial this throughout the season. But let me know. Show me what you're interested in. This is exactly what we're here for. To bring that alternate sort of broadcast for you. If you don't like TV commentary, you can make your own. Have your opinions heard. But you've got to be impressed with Nate Jerry, the former Nebraska safety, transitions to linebacker after being drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is interesting. Doug Peterson challenging the play with 5 minutes 40 to go in the first quarter. So, we're halfway through the first quarter. What are your takeaways? For me, off the bat, obviously Cameron Grugier-Hill playing well. Defense beginning to look a bit better, but I mean, let's be brutally honest here right now. If you've got someone that's that far inside the red zone in 2 drives, there's only so much positivity you can take. And you've got to feel like there is a Devonta Freeman touchdown just waiting to happen. I mean, my main problem here is going to be the offense. I think the defense is always going to come out swinging. The Eagles know what they're doing on that side of things. It's offensively where there is a lot more insecurity. You know that Nick Foles looked rusty in preseason. There's no Alshon Jeffrey. There's no Matt Hollins. There's no Richard Rodgers. The running backs haven't seen much preseason action. So straight away, what are we seeing, guys? 31 of you are in this chat right now. Tell us your thoughts, your feedback. But as we go into another ad break, just time to maybe settle down again and prepare ourselves for what could be yet another goal line stand. But again, this is going to be a unique opportunity. Just sharing this link around now on social media. If you're new to the stream, welcome. If you've never heard of Philly Sports Network before, welcome to the show. This is going to be something a little bit different right now we're trying to do here. Preston Goodling, offense needs to step up. Absolutely. Well observed. It was a very poor first drive. There's no denying that one, that Nick Foles struggled. And again, we're expecting a bit of rust. This is a game the Eagles could very likely drop. I don't think anyone would be overly disappointed or underwhelmed if they did. Not that I would expect them to. They're still favourites in Vegas. But if I'm brutally honest, the way that this offense is structured, it is built around the talent that's there. And you've got the fundamentals, but let's be honest. I mean, Nick Foles completed 1 pass for 4 yards on that first drive. It wasn't good. Meanwhile, Matt Ryan, 4 for 9 so far. Devonta Freeman, 4 carries with a 20-yard rush along the way. Julio Jones already with 43 yards of offense. So he is really having a game right now. One of the best in the league. Hopefully they can hold them to 3. They've done it before just a few moments ago. Will they do it again? That's the question. If you're just joining us, welcome to Philly Sports Network. The player's being challenged. If it's still an about a catch rule, if it's me, I'm going to rule that one a catch. I don't know about you guys. I'm not sure what your views on this are, but it is 3rd and goal. The Eagles lose a timeout. So we'll see how that comes back to haunt Doug Peterson. He's not afraid to go for a challenge. We've become to know that about the Eagles head coach. 3rd and goal. And there's a flag down already, and Ryan is being battered and bruised. It's like a game of Street Fighter. They bring him down. There is a flag on the play. It's Chris Long with the sack, who looks a bit confused. You can't blame him. Ryan was being tossed around like a rag doll. Oh, it's defensive offside. That's going to sting. That's an automatic 1st down. Oh, let's repeat 3rd down, I beg your pardon. There we go. So it's Derek Barnett. Maybe they'll reduce the yardage here. Let's take a look back at the play. It's difficult with no audio. Barnett, yeah, I would argue maybe that wasn't an offside, but who am I to say? So Jim Schwartz, 3rd and goal. Looking at his defense now. They've held here before. And then the Falcons went for 7 points. Ryan takes a snap. Ryan throws, and that is incomplete as well. What a play by Ronald Darby. That was a brilliant bit of play by the Eagles cornerback in his contract year. He knows how big this is going to be for him. That was a big boy play right there. I can tell you that for free. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We've got 22 of you guys in the chat. Again, if you've got a YouTube channel, if you've got a YouTube account, you can add something in the chat. This is what it's here for. We're not just here for me to talk. We want to have a discussion. And the Falcons are going to go for a 3-point attempt. So it's a field goal. It's a chip. It's a 21-yard effort. And Matt Bryant puts that one through. The Falcons score first. They go up 3. What are your thoughts, guys? 3-0 Falcons after 2 drives. I mean, the Eagles' defense has held strong considering. Preston Goodling, if we stop them again, we better score. Again, pressure's going to have to mount on Nick Foles at some point. He's sharing these rounds on Facebook. Anthony Rodriguez obviously happy with the result so far. But again, if you are watching this, if you're just joining us live, welcome to Philly Sports Network. If you've just seen this channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's have some fun with this because we're going to have plenty of Eagles film room pieces coming out over the next few weeks. There's going to be one with a bit of luck. I think it's normally Tuesday by the time it comes out, but this is going to be plenty of fun over this season. We've had a lot of fun in the off-season, looking at, the tape from last year and the Super Bowl and the players to watch, but breaking down opponent tape, that's my favourite thing. And when you've got tape on other teams, I think there's already stuff that's standing out to me in this game. One of them being these Falcons linebackers. How are they going to handle the Eagles tight ends? So far, so good. Defensively, how are the Eagles stopping the perimeter run game? Again, so far, so good. Have to bear with me just one moment. Try and make sure my internet connection holds up. That's the thing with, being in the UK. My internet isn't the best, unfortunately. So the question is, will there be a solicited response? So Patrick Hoffman's back. Nice to see you back, my man. JB, is this a stream? Yes, it is a stream. What this is designed for, as I mentioned a couple moments ago, is really for you guys to make the most of this. This is a unique platform where instead of just into a TV broadcast and consuming what they give you, what you can do is actually give your opinions. This isn't a game stream. What this is actually going to be an alternate broadcast, an alternate commentary for you guys where you can shape it. We can have a dialogue, a conversation throughout the game, and it just brings you guys a bit closer to a beat writer or a reporter, which you may not normally do. You don't see ESPN writers interact with their audience in this way during a game, and this is what we want to try and change. Our content is about you, and as we say that, a big time return from a man you guys will know and love. It's Shelton Gibson, brings the ball out past the 30. So here come the Eagles offense once again. Gibson goes off the field first. The Eagles with their Super Bowl badges intact. Nelson Aguilar, what a season he had last year. He's looking to build on that. Dallas Goedert, Philly Goedert, which is a name I really don't agree with, is going to be a big part of this. I don't get why they're using an old picture of Jason Kelce. He's had a big haircut since then. But here we are. Foles onto the field again. 1st and 10 and a bit more comfortable, not tucked up inside his own 5-yard line, and hands it off to Darren Sproles, who chips in for a couple of yards, but looked like it was very delayed. It looked like an RPO to me, and Foles seemed a bit reluctant to give that ball to number 43, who then runs back to the sideline. So this has got to be big now for Darren Sproles. It's his final year as an NFL player, and it's got to be a bit emotional for Eagles fans right now to think that there's just one more year of Darren Sproles in midnight green. He's only been with the team for a few years, but what an impact he's made since joining during the heart of the Chip Kelly era. 2nd and 9, it's a 13 personnel set. And a Clement gets swallowed up. So 2 different running backs. So the 12 personnel, I beg your pardon. 2 different running backs, minimal gain. I spoke about this Falcons run defense in an article over at phillysportsnetwork.com just recently. There is a flag on the play for an offensive offside. Or a defensive offside, I beg your pardon. So it's still second down, but this Falcons run defense with Tack McKinley, who is, you know, I think one of the heartthrobs of the draft after his thing, but quietly, Vic Beasley and Grady Jarrett have become two of the biggest assets of this defense possible. Duke Riley and Deion Jones, maybe two of my favourite linebackers in the league right now. Two very, very good linebackers who come down off the edge. And Robert Alford's a cornerback who can contribute everywhere. Foles finally gets a first down. The Eagles throw their way to Nelson Aguilar, who moves the chains. And you know, as a quarterback, that is the most important thing. Keep a drive going. It sounds silly. Yeezus. Well, I mean, I appreciate the username. Nothing wrong with some Yeezys. But let's just take appreciate again. If you're just joining us, this is a stream that's designed to make the most of this scenario. That not everyone can see the game. Some people see the game and want a bit more than just putting their thoughts on Twitter. This is where you can talk to someone who breaks down the film live as it happens. If you've got opinions, we're trying to build that community. If you're football lovers, to sit down during the game and talk shop as Foles goes down. And it's a big sack and Lane Johnson a bit overwhelmed. Brandon Brooks was pushed outside. And it's second down and long. Paul was the man who brought him down, and Doug Peterson's not going to be too happy with that. I can tell you it for free. Here's another look at what happened. And it's an outside rush, and Lane Johnson's trying to, I guess, account for a pulling block. And it's a bit of a stunt by the Falcons, and the stunt was enough to just allow the cornerback to come in and make a play. How many yards was the catch for? It was around 7, but it's now 2nd and 17. So regardless of that anyway, you can tell there is a lot of rust on this offense, Patrick. You're absolutely right. Foles hands the ball off again. Clement, nowhere. Awful decision there by Doug Peterson. They're not getting past this Falcons run defense by going through the middle. Again, they're not the biggest and the baddest. Then Grady Jarrett is not going to be the most intimidating DT in the league, but they're going to penetrate. This Eagles offensive line has got a world of potential, but when it comes down to it and running the ball, they haven't had a lot of time together in preseason. There's going to be some rust to shake off. The Falcons just look a bit hungry right now. Vic Beasley, watch that man, already causing some problems for Lane Johnson. Nick Foles, 3rd and 17 at the 13. There's an offside. Was that defense? I believe it was. Nelson Aguilar certainly insinuating that way. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. This is just going to be a way for us to interact with you guys. What are you? There's over 40 of you watching this stream right now. What are your thoughts so far? If you're watching Thursday Night Football, what are you making of this Eagles game? What have you seen that stands out? Let me know. Get your names in the chat. Let's have a discussion. This is what it's here for. Let's build a community here of football fans that want a bit more than just a broadcast. And that's offside there by the defensive end. The cadence of Nick Foles. Alright, Preston. Been good seeing you, my man. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. We'll see you next game. Enjoy the rest of the game. 3rd and 12. A minute to go in the first quarter. And Foles drops the ball. Oh, no. You can just tell the amount of problems we're going to see here for Nick Foles. It is sloppy. This is a sloppy offensive showing. It's going to be low scoring. The defense is going to have to win it. Foles just drops the snap. It's a low snap. He's maybe looking a bit further up than intended. The ball comes his way. Just couldn't quite adjust. That's tough. And now, 4th and 18. And it's going to be a very long field goal attempt. So I highly doubt it's going to be one of those. Instead, it's Cameron Johnston that just hoofs it. And look at the distance he puts on this. It's inside the... Oh, it bounces inside the 10. They can't stop it from going inside the end zone. But either way, Eagles offense remains scoreless with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, guys, if you're in this stream, I haven't heard from you yet. I want to know. We've got about, let's see how many we've got watching right now as I quickly just switch over. 32 of you are watching this, which means 32 of you, around 30 if you haven't got the game up. Have this game up on a screen. You've got this broadcast alongside. Get your thoughts in. Get your opinions in. Let's have a conversation. Another Eagles offensive drive down. Another nullified impact. What are your thoughts? It's going to be an interesting second quarter, to say the least. But here's some stats then. Let's try and do it this way. Let's have a look at some numbers after the first quarter. Patrick says, overall defense is lights out. Offense is rusty. Yeah, and I think we're going to see that for a little while. We're going to see a few weeks of offensive rust. Nick Foles has completed 2 passes for 10 yards and has been sacked twice. In two sacks in 2 drives. So the Falcons defense is getting the better of him right now. There's been 3 yards of rushing offense. It's not looked good. Not looked good at all. So there's definitely some misrepresentation there. The Eagles offenses need to find a way to get going. It's not looking good right now, but I'm just showing some highlights there of what could have been a pick quite some time ago. 2nd and 10 for the Atlanta Falcons now after a very near interception by Rodney McLeod. And Matt Ryan with a 2-back set. Freeman going outside. Could it be a screen? They hand it off to Coleman, and that is swallowed up by Brandon Graham. That man is on a complete mission today. Big time play by BG there. Just tracks the ball, doesn't look at the running back. And you know Brandon Graham is going to have a big year. You know where the money on the line, he's going to come flying. Anti-odd need a turnover, we do. And the defense is getting fired up. The end of the first quarter, it's 3-0 Atlanta. So now we've got a little break. You've got to tell me your thoughts now, right? This is the aim. Oh, there's a nice red PlayStation 4 on my screen there. That's interesting. But still, this has been a different scenario for the Eagles. We're not used to seeing them with the offense unable to put up points. They moved the chains at will last season. They dropped to 50 on Denver, for goodness sake. One of the best defenses in the league. It all went a little bit AWOL. But as of right now, they're unable to do very much at all against Atlanta. Here's something interesting. So if you're a betting man on the bookmaker Sky Bet, they've got an odds of Nick Foles and Matt Ryan for 300 passing yards each this game. Yeah, I can't see that one happening, but that's 50-1 if you do fancy, you know, wasting some money on there. What other odds have we got? Julio Jones 100 plus receiving yards isn't even money, so that is just expected to happen, I suppose, at this point. Haven't seen much from Calvin Ridley yet. That's a name that I am very intrigued to learn more about. That's my worry with the preseason. Yeah, it's understandable as well. It doesn't help when you have got someone like Jason Peters out for most of camp because he's a veteran and doesn't really need it. Same with the running backs. We didn't see a lot from Darren Sproles. Didn't see a lot from Clement. Didn't see a lot from Ajayi. There's a lot of weak points there that just could need some time to find their feet again in the NFL. It's been a big off-season for the Eagles and a very short one at that. There's been a lot going on as Super Bowl champions. But who knows? There is a Super Bowl comparison of Doug Peterson versus Dan Quinn. It's 2 very different tales. Falcons led Patriots 21-3, which has become memed for all of time to remember. The Eagles were able to actually finish out their mission, defeating the Patriots and winning their first ever World Championship. Will it be the start of a new era though? Will there be a second? What a statement this would be if the Eagles could come out and win. But to do that, they need to find a way to stop this Sarkisian offense because it's beginning to put up some scary numbers right now. Yes, Sir Patrick, field position will be very important indeed. Can the Eagles do it? Again, 28 of you here. If you're watching this stream, give it a like if you're enjoying it so far. Make sure you're interacting with our guys in the chat as well. We want to make this a hub for Eagles fans as Ryan fakes a pass. Freeman tries to get... Oh, what a play. And they're going absolutely nowhere now. This defense is coming alive in the second quarter. BG again. Brandon Graham is having himself an evening. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Fletcher Cox with some great pressure outside, but it's Brandon Graham that's able to really finish up after Michael Bennett misses a tackle. That's what Cox does. He kind of facilitates all of that hard work and the penetration, makes a mess, and then it's the defensive ends and the linebackers that clean up. 4th and 19 for the Atlanta Falcons at their own 1 yard line, and it looked like it was muffed there for a second, but the ball punted away and it's picked up as a fair catch. Eagles will start great field position at the opposing 40-yard line. This is the sort of boost they needed. Will they be able to make the most of it? That's a very different debate. But look at that. Foles last postseason, 12 for 12 when using RPOs. We haven't really seen many this game. We've seen a couple sprinkled into the playbook. And a look at Jeff Stoutland as well. But if you're an Eagles fan, you want your opinion heard, now's the time to do it. Get your name in this YouTube live chat with us. Foles fakes a handoff. Dinks went out to Nelson Aguilar, who does get swallowed up. Second down, and Falcons beginning to look a little bit more aggressive right now. This could become an offensive stalemate. Second down, there's been 1 total yard for this team in a quarter. 1 yard. It's been abysmal. I'm guessing that's commentator's curse now, right? They're going to go off for like, what, a 30-yard gain? Wouldn't surprise me. Let's have a look. Nick Foles, watch him catch fire. This is how it's going to go. It's an RPO, gives it to Ajayi on 2nd and 9, who goes, well, absolutely nowhere. It's going to be 3rd and 8. And it's interesting, as Ajayi, the starter, has only seen, again, a couple of carries today. It's been sprinkled around. We've seen more from Clement, more from Sproles, less from the British Jay Ajayi. 3rd and 7, clock running, 13 minutes to go in the second quarter. Eagles again looking unable to really get much going right now. Let's have a look. What can they do here? The Eagles only one with a running back set. They've got 2 tight ends out there. Dallas Goedert on the field. And Foles, clean pocket, strike, Aguilar, come back, first down. Big play for Nelson Aguilar. Finally into enemy territory. It's only just, but Nelson Aguilar moves the chains for the Eagles. A great play by Nick Foles, but you're absolutely right, Patrick. These Falcons DBs are looking very rampant. This is what the sort of thing you want to see from them, especially with the type of defense they play, where they rely on that mentality to get them through games, as do the Eagles. They're a very talented bunch, and it all starts with Desmond Trufant. Nice to see you, man. Wavy D, good to see you in the chat. Hopefully we can get a first sometime soon. We just got one then. The Eagles are beginning to make some waves right now, but can they get Atlanta on the back foot? That's going to be the next big question. As my NFL Game Pass just decides to completely collapse on itself, which is exactly what you want when live streaming a commentary, right? That's exactly what you want to see. So let's try and get this one back up a moment. But again, we thought this may happen. The Eagles offense may take a little while to click, a little while to get going. That certainly seems to be the case. But right now, positive signs. They could tie it up with 3-3. There's no reason why they couldn't. 2nd and 2. They're verging on the 20-yard line right now. Foles hands it off. And oh, big run by Ajayi. Did he get the first down? I'm not sure. But the intent was most definitely there. 3rd down and short, but it's barely inches. You may as well put your pinky finger out. There's not a lot separating Ajayi from that first down. And will the Eagles just punch it in again? Clock management has been a strength of Peterson for quite some time, but with 2 timeouts, you may need to be a bit smart here, as the time will soon begin to trickle away. 11 personnel. Peterson hands it off. Not Peterson, I beg. Nick Foles hands it off to Darren Sproles, who gets it in for the first down. Eagles are marching in now. It's slowly, but it's calculated. Just slowly, step after step. Sproles was hit there by Vic Beasley, but didn't stop him from pushing forward. And it's a fresh set of downs and a dangerous field position now for Philadelphia. Foles hands it off. And that one again will go absolutely nowhere. So the Falcons' run defense has been very good today, but the Eagles are going to need to get something a bit bigger. It's second down now, 9 minutes, 22 seconds left. Are they just going to try and match the game up and play methodically, or will they take a bit of a deep shot? Still about 25 yards left to go. Foles takes a snap, moves outside, and another big play. They're just chipping away right now. That's exactly what Atlanta were doing. Darren Sproles getting a little bit more action than we're kind of used to seeing from him. I don't think many people expected him to be this active, but as Patrick says, I mean, there is a big possibility that Ajayi and Clement may not be 100%. Could be why they're leaning on Sproles, but let's see. 3rd and 7 now. The Eagles are going to need something. The bodyguard, Jason Peters. He's been an instrumental asset to this team. Foles drops back, and he's going to look over for the first down, and it was a perfectly placed ball to what should have been a first down, but unfortunately Desmond Trufant gets called for pass interference. Big play for the Eagles. They got off a little bit scot-free there. It's a big first down for them. And now the Eagles move even closer. So Trufant with his first penalty of the game. And that may just slow this Falcons defense down enough. And you can see, so the penalty was actually, they're showing a look at DeAndre Carter, but Mike Wallace was the man in question. Great play. But Keanu Neal is down. Number 22. And it's an injury you don't want to see. Keanu Neal's rapidly become one of the hardest hitting safeties in the NFL. But again, guys, if you're watching this and you haven't hit the like button yet, make sure you do. Make sure you're in this chat. Join myself, Patrick, Wavy D, all the other guys that have been in today. And talk some shop with us, especially when we get to halftime, because no one wants to get to halftime and not know what to do, right? But as of right now, things looking a little bit more promising for Philadelphia. They're inside enemy territory. They're looking at a potential field goal right now with 8 minutes, 14 seconds left on the clock. Question is, can the Eagles actually go one further and punch it in now? That's going to be the new challenge for Doug Peterson. There is every possibility this red zone defense struggles against the Eagles. We speak about a million times before about Dallas Goedert, about Zach Ertz, about the potential that both of those tight ends have. Without Matt Collins, you lose a bit of that height, but you've still got players like Shelton Gibson who can run some very crisp routes in a short space. And there's no reason why either of those could make a huge impact today. Will Zach Ertz be the first Eagles touchdown receiver of the season? Only time will tell. But yeah, you never want to see an injury. And obviously Keanu Neal is an instrumental piece of their defense. As we come back to the game, it's 1st and goal for the Philadelphia Eagles. So what happened to Keanu Neal? Let's just take a look at this then. So he's lined up on what looks to be Zach Ertz. And he just pulled up all of a sudden. That could be an ACL. I don't want to make judgments. Okay, I think he's back on the field. It looked like the way he pulled up was an Achilles or maybe a strain, but it didn't look too good. Am I a good YouTuber? I would be very bad if I said I was, because that's not my job to say. That's down to my audience. I would say the fact that 800 subscribers in a month is pretty good. I think my content speaks for itself, but it is film analysis. It's based on the Philadelphia Eagles. So unless you're an Eagles fan, you probably won't see much value in it. But again, I'd like to think I'm good at what I do. I put my best into it. That's all I can ask for. I would never say I'm good or bad because that's not my place to say. You guys certainly carry that. But if you're an Eagles fan, phillysportsnetwork.com is the place to go. I've been writing there for 4 years. mcram23, being from Australia playing rugby, what's the correct textbook way of tackling, specifically for a cornerback on a wide receiver? It depends on the type of defensive look that you have. But with the Eagles just getting penalty, we'll get to this in just a moment. Let's get to the end of this drive and I'll get back to that question because it's a great question. Foles puts one into the bucket and is that incomplete? No. Incomplete, and that was almost a Dallas Goedert touchdown. That could have been monumental. I mean, honestly, Raider Bay Nation, like, don't worry. There's no reason you can't still see value. You can go back. You've got the channel there. Have a look at the videos. I just try and do something different. You know, I just want to be a change in this world. I think that there's a big opportunity to make film and tape breakdown a lot more accessible to fans because it's not. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to try and branch out to other teams, but working a full-time job as well and running the website, writing articles every day, it's really difficult. So I'm trying. The second and goal, after Dallas Goedert exercises his catch radius and doesn't bring it in, couldn't quite get those toes in bounds. Corey Clement runs out, third and goal. More than likely going to be a field goal at this stage. I appreciate that, especially after telling me that you've got longer genitalia than Matt Ryan. I genuinely really appreciate that. Thank you. And be sure to, yeah, just look at the content that we've got, man. If you like kind of understanding the deeper level of the NFL, if you like film breakdown and finding underdog players and why they're important, or even more concepts, it's really cool. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Nick Foles, third and goal, throws. It's fine to Zach Ertz, but not going to be enough. The Eagles are going to take the field goal there and tie this one up 3-3 with a bit of luck. So, mcram23, what is the best way of tackling? Essentially, what you want to do is obviously not lead with your helmet right now because of the NFL rule. It's all about the tackling angle, what I would say is most important. You don't want to go flying in and aim for the knees. You're aiming for around the waist area, but it's difficult. If you go from like flying in, you're going to end up with a really bad posture. You've got to be calculated, kind of knees bent, back straight, wait for the player to come to you and lead with your knee, kind of go to the upper leg strength that you've got to go forward. But Jake Elliott puts a field goal through. And no, I'm from the United Kingdom, as the accent may or may not give away. So it's 3-3. Super Jake Elliott sends a goal through. And you can see how much I meant to Dan Quinn. That could have been a much worse scenario. So what a game it's been so far. We've just taken a slight maybe coffee break there, because again, 3 AM now. We're not even in the second half yet, so it's going to be a long night for myself. But I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. If you are just joining us, Philly Sports Network, the place to be, phillysportsnetwork.com. But on that drive, I want to say, as great as Dallas Goedert was, as great as that catch would have been on that touchdown, you've got to shout out Duke Riley, the former LSU linebacker, squeezed Dallas Goedert to the sideline. The man is 6'5". He is a beast of a tight end. His catch radius is like no other. And Duke Riley was able to press him to the sideline, force him out of bounds, and just at the release of that route, really make his presence felt. When I say that Deion Jones and Duke Riley could be one of the best linebacking tandems in the league, maybe not now, but in years to come, the potential is certainly there. These guys have got a lot of upside. I think they play the game well. And, you know, I wouldn't say they're Hicks and Bradham just yet, but there's a lot you can learn for sure. So we'll see how this all goes. But what a beautiful start to the game it's been. It's been a very methodical game so far for both teams. We've seen a lot about the Eagles and the Falcons. both offensively and defensively. But the Eagles, by this point, are certainly just shaking off the rust. That is the aim. BGB, nice to see you, my man, Chad. Are you in Ireland? There we go. That's really cool. I know, man. I'm only joking. I'm messing with you. Completely agree, Chad. It's been a good start. I love seeing you in this chat. It's so awesome. But what a different start. I mean, who expected that as we get to the second quarter, it would be 3-3, right? Like, this has not been a game. We're expecting high-octane offense. We're expecting big plays, big touchdowns. Not been that way at all. Rushing on both teams has been minimal, apart from a Devonta Freeman run that went for 20 yards. Receiving has been just as inconsistent. 6 minutes to go as we get to half-time. And just saying, Chad, my play on under 44 points is looking pretty good right now. But look at this. How are the Falcons going to respond? What Steve Sarkisian got up his sleeve? Ah, well, I mean, that's very kind of you to say. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's do you know what's really nice? I guess to go from that initial response that you had to come back and say that, man, that's actually really nice. I appreciate those kind words. So Eagles back underway, and the Falcons are off running. Tevin Coleman has been the next... I remember last time the Eagles played the Falcons, I said, don't underestimate the presence of Tevin Coleman. Although Devonta Freeman is the main man in the middle, Coleman just is very much a Darren Sproles to that defense. Second and 8 for the Atlanta Falcons right now, and all of a sudden, things are looking up. But a big Julio Jones reception there, and Ronald Darby again. Jones is just picking up. I don't get how you stop Julio Jones. I really don't. There's not much you can do against someone that good. Great back pedal by Darby. Just gets turned around. But he thought he played it well. But it's just the short area quickness of Julio Jones. The speed he's got breaking out. How does he do that? Breaking in and out of routes is just remarkable. It's now 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Play action, a handoff to Coleman again. This time he does get swallowed up. He doesn't go anywhere this time around. And Julio sprints back, 2nd down now for the team. Chad says hi, Bella. He knows she's in the chat somewhere. But Neil, I believe, to me it looked like Neil may have popped an Achilles or an ACL. The way that leg came up was either very knee-based or it looked like an Achilles. Maybe wrong. It was non-contact, so it could have been a number of things, but it definitely didn't look promising, so I think he is out. But 2nd and 9 now for Atlanta at the 50-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, and another catch, this time by Sanu. Flag on the play. That may be coming back for a helmet call. Yeah, flag on defense there. That's a tough one to take as well for Chris Long. Very tough one. Again, if you're just joining us, 30 of you here, this chat is here for you guys to drop your opinions in. We're going to watch together. We want to watch this game, break it down as a family. If you've got opinions, if you've got views, if you've got something you want to talk about, get it in this chat. Let's have a discussion. It's a good call, but Chris Long obviously very frustrated. Falcons move up a little once again. Nick Foles on the sideline. You've got to hope something more comes from him in the second half, because it really has not been there at the moment at all. 1st and 10. Ryan fakes a play action and he almost gets swallowed up by 2 defensive ends. Gets out of it and takes a knee. And Jordan Hicks was waiting. Oh, that could have very easily been a quarterback targeting hit on Jordan Hicks. But very aware is Simba. He's taken over the Animal Kingdom since back in the day when D'Amico Ryans decided to hang up the boots. And now we can see the robotic leg of Matt Ryan. The more you know. Explains a lot on that slide. Did he twinge something? Ooh. Could have easily twinged something. He didn't seem too phased, but you never know. Something may have just slipped out of place there. I guess the team of engineers are working on that surgically implemented C3PO leg. Something's obviously come away there. But let's have a roll call, alright? So how many people have we got in this stream right now? We've got 18 of you, again, which have not spoken yet. But some of you have, some of you haven't. So let's go. If you're in this channel, if you're on this stream, if you're watching stuff, then get it in. Let's just have a chat. If you're watching this game, what are your views? What are you feeling? Don't be afraid. No one's going to clown you. We're all here just trying to have a nice, I say a nice evening. It's 3 AM now, but it's looking good. No, you can, dude, if you're a Raiders fan, it doesn't matter. Like, it's cool. This game's very tense. I mean, my God, this has been a monumental game so far. It's been a heart-stopper. I mean, for a season opener, bear in mind last season opener was the Kansas City Chiefs and New England Patriots, where the Chiefs sprung the upset. It only feels like yesterday that happened. And now we find ourselves in a very different scenario, where we've got an offensive stalemate and defense is ruling the day. So whose defense is better? Is it going to be Dan Quinn's? Is it going to be Doug Peterson's and Jim Schwartz's? Only time will tell, but as of right now, the Eagles' defense is beginning to settle into the game a bit more. But operation number one is stopping Julio Jones, which I would not wish on my my worst enemy. That is a very difficult task, which I highly doubt many people will be able to do at the best of their ability. Just waiting for the game to come back through. I think tiredness is beginning to set in for myself just a little bit right now. But again, let's get a roll. Liam, you started this entire game with full... Do you know what? I don't have a... Basically, what's happened is I've got a new role at my other job where I'm training people now. So for 9 hours a day, all week, I've been talking non-stop. Then I get home yesterday and have to do a podcast and interview Michael Lombardi. And then come into tonight after another 9 hours of talking and go again. So my vocal cords are a little bit fried. So there might be a little bit of a gap between now and the next film room because I'm literally just running myself into the ground at the minute. But I love it, you know. It's the best time of year. So anything I can do to get one up on the opposition, I'll definitely make sure of that. I'm going to quickly go get my laptop charger a second because that has gone walkabout. While we're doing that, what I will do is play you another source of Lane Johnson defeating Khalil Mack. Look at that. How's that? There you are. What about this one? What's this one? Who knows? But you can watch it anyway. There you go. How's that? Have fun. Okay, we're back. Right, I think that video lasted a lot shorter than I actually intended. So it's probably finished by the time I've actually just arrived, which is a bit of a pain. But we are back. And the laptop won't die, which means the stream must go on. And you know me, guys, I'm not one to take a day off. So if I get sick, I get sick. But, you know, I can always learn sign language. It's cool. It's not a problem. So back into the game, and it's a field goal attempt for the Falcons after another... He unsubscribed. Oh, he's unsubscribed. Okay. That's nice. I mean, so that's been through an emotional love story there. If you go to my Twitter, this may be the most emotional love story I've ever seen. we go. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. So it's 6-3 to the Falcons after what has been a very emotional first couple of games. Or first couple of quarters now. I mean, again, what are your takeaways so far? The Falcons with a narrow lead. Use 2 moments. So here we go. This is what we come to see, right? 2 minutes to... there's a flag, but I mean 2 minutes to go. Atlanta 6, Philadelphia 3. No touchdowns yet for either team. The Falcons' red zone offense just has not looked good at all. That's an observation that we've made. But Jordan Hicks blew up Freeman on that last drive, and that was absolutely astounding. Holding on Avonte Maddox, that's a shame. So the Eagles backed up a little bit because the rookie cornerback was just a little bit out of touch there. But it did feel like that Shelton Gibson shouldn't have taken that ball out of the end zone, if I'm honest. That's probably a bit of a risky decision. I wouldn't have done that if I was him. Keanu Neal has returned to the game. That's a big get for the Eagles. Very big get indeed. Still, 6-3 to Atlanta. 2 minute and 1. I don't know what the point is in this 1 second. I can't see that helping at all. But either way, playing out of the end zone, just trying to... We've been here before, and the last time we were here, is he showing the game? I'm not showing the game. This is designed to run alongside the game and have a discussion. So that's the whole point of this sort of live stream. If you're, again, just joining us, make sure you hit subscribe. Hit the like button if you want to see more of this. We want to have guests on in the future. We want to try and have some, you know, video cameras and that sort of thing as well. So if you are interested, please do stick around for that. So here come the offense. We've got a 2 minute warning, and then here we go. As we get into half time, this has been a very tense affair. I can see the Eagles and Falcons becoming rivals for years to come. You really can see it a mile away now. I think this is, again, 4th time they've met in 5 years now. Definitely the 3rd time in 2. But what's been great about this game for me is just that it really has brought the best out of both teams. You know, when having to see this Eagles offense push to its best, because if they're not, they're going to fall behind quickly. If the defense isn't at its best, the offense is not performing and they're going to fall behind quickly. The offense has got to find a way through. The defense cannot carry you throughout this season, although it will certainly try. Eventually, Nick Foles has got to put up some points. But there have been just 9 in the first half of this game. We could see a second half explosion. I'm a bit apprehensive of that. I think we're more likely to see more of the same. In terms of our bold predictions article as well, though, we'll touch on that in a moment, see how that's going, because I'm sure you'd all be interested to see how these bold predictions are happening. Can't be making them stupid plays when they... Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's got to be a sense of chemistry here. I think the lack of preseason action, I don't care how you look at preseason, there's got to be some sort of communication. There's been a lack of it here. I think across the offensive line we've seen some problems as well. But it just hasn't been impressive. This isn't the Eagles offense that stormed onto the field last year. We're not going to see that offense for a few weeks. It's going to take some time. as Michael Lombardi said. Did you listen to the podcast in the end, Jag? Because I thought that would be an interesting one. I'm sure you'd have a couple takes on, but definitely was a really, really fun one to film. Hopefully we're going to have a few more guests as well, because that was a really, really interesting day. Loved that show last night. Right. Radar, this might be the most bipolar person I've ever seen. But, okay. It is what it is. Back and forward we go. Third down for the Eagles. The clock's still running after Nelson Aguilar with the reception. There is a flag on the play again. And that's roughing the passer. So the Eagles are going to get a bit of a lifeline here. And now what can the Falcons defense do? Grady Jarrett called for that one. And that could have been... Is that roughing the passer, or is that just a... I don't think that's roughing the passer. I think that's a bit of a bogus call, if I'm honest. I wouldn't have called that. Probably why I'm not an NFL referee, if anything. But 1st and 10. Nick Foles is going to try and get the most out of this offense now. It's still 2 minutes to go. The Eagles got pushed out of a dodgy situation last time round. Pressure coming. And a big completion to Aguilar. They're saying there's another flag on the play, but he did seem to make the catch. So Peterson isn't happy. That could be another pass interference. But I may be wrong. Let's see what the referee has to say. Holding on deep. Oh, and the Falcons now getting a little bit sloppy. A little bit sloppy indeed. Desmond Trufant, that's his 2nd penalty of the game. Maybe just playing a bit overzealous right now, and to contain Nelson Aguilar, where he just puts his back to you like that. It's easy to put your hands on the receiver and try and make that step, but you just can't do it. You can't let the receiver win the mental aspect of the game. So and a big catch here by Zach Ertz. So 1st down and 10 turns into around 2nd down and 2. Zach Ertz with a big reception, out of bounds, clock still ticking. This is big now. Marquand Manuel, 2nd year as defensive coordinator as well. Expecting a big rise for his defense, but so far it's been a relatively impressive effort, limiting the Eagles' offense to just 3 points. They're coming. Philadelphia are marching down. Nick Foles beginning to heat up a little bit. This may be enough just to maybe overpower what we see here, but they're down by 3 at the moment. The Eagles cannot afford to let this opportunity slide. This is huge. On the edge of halftime, they get possession in the second half. They need to find a way to convert here. Even if it is just a field goal, there is the opportunity to take over a game with a half remaining if they can start on the right foot. 2 touchdowns here, and this game changes on its head. 3rd and 3. Still not outside of their own area just yet. Foles takes a snap, drops back in the pocket, goes to throw over the middle, and it's again he's looking for, but it's incomplete. And the Eagles turn what should have been a big time situation into a punt. And Zach Ertz not happy about something. What's happened with Ertz? Was there a hold? Oh, he was arguably held. I would say the ball more going over his head was the bigger problem, but Cameron Johnston's going to send the punt well away. With 1 minute 30 to go in the second quarter. Again, if you are still watching this, let us know, because it's been great watching and having you here with us. We may call it at halftime, just because I think I need to retain my sanity and get some caffeine and stop talking, because my voice is really beginning to hurt now after a week of just non-stop talking. So I may need to go and enjoy the rest of this one from the comfort of a sofa with a beer. I'm not sure. We'll see how we go. Mainly just I've got to write a halftime recap as well. I forgot I've got to do that. So the fun never ends. But a minute and a half. How damaging would it be if the and a big time punt redeemed by Avonte Maddox. Kamugugia Hill the first to congratulate him, but Cameron Johnston is a demon. That man's going to a Pro Bowl this year as a punter. I don't care. He has been incredible all season long in terms of the preseason at least. No reason why he can't replicate that this year either. So 1 minute and 20 seconds remain. Still no movement. This has got to be a big gain now for the Falcons. They're running with a light personnel, 4 wide outs. They try to dink one in the box, and that's a first down. And it's Julio Jones again. The chains move. 1 minute 15 seconds now remain. 78 first half yards for Julio Jones and just 6 points for the Falcons. This is the definition of bend but don't break. It really is. The Eagles defense come out. You've got Sidney Jones there that's trying to keep an eye on Mohamed Sanu. One of the other storylines of this game. Jones over the middle, and that is broken up by Rodney McLeod. Could have been another pick, but I think he would take that all day long. Crucial time for that play to come as well. Again, if you're in this chat, 13 if you're watching this stream, get yourselves in the live chat. What are you making of this game? There's only so much more of Matt Ryan genitalia talk we can take. And the play clock begins to expire. Ryan takes a snap with a minute to go. Throws underneath to Freeman, who is wrapped up. Malcolm Jenkins obviously feeling a bit fired up right now. Third down. 60 seconds remain on the clock. What can the Eagles defense muster up? Ryan over the middle and incomplete again. And it's 4th down with a minute to go. Sidney Jones. No, it's Ronald Darby, beg your pardon. Ronald Darby with a big play. And just like that, the Eagles have a little bit of fight in them. They're not going anywhere just yet. Darby breaks on the ball so well, and that's what he does brilliantly. Just gets that hand in there, jams the ball away from Julio Jones, who is expected to make a body catch, and it's just Darby that comes flying in out of nowhere. 43 seconds to go, and this Eagles team are beginning to make some moves. Flag down. But it's taken by Darren Sproles. The older Sproles. Goal for the Eagles in the second half has got to be establishing the run. 17 rush yards is not going to get them very far. But 44 seconds to go. A late field goal. Level the playing field before half time and we're away. And Darren Sproles brings it out. Doesn't get too far. Another flag on the play though. And you can tell at this point that it's becoming a little bit frustrating for all parties involved. Me too, René, man. It's I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry this has been if you're unable to watch the game, hopefully this is a nice substitute for now. Just until half time. I may do the second half as well, but as of right now, I think this game, because it was delayed, it is 3:30 in the morning here. It's going to be a bit difficult to keep this up, I'm afraid. But I will be back for next week, and any time moving forward where it is like an earlier kickoff, you will get the full game. But when it is just this late, do I have lube I can ship to you? No, I don't, I'm afraid. I think I could use some for my mouth right now because it is drier than a desert. But 33 seconds. Can Nick Foles muster up a field goal? Just make that total to 12 points. They're starting inside their 10-yard line. Doug Peterson's clock management's always been good, but is he going to go for it here? Foles has to go. Oh, it's just a poor pass. Aguilar looking visibly frustrated. You can see why. Another flag. A defensive offside, and that is what the Eagles want. They're sneaking up the middle. And there's locks there from Reed, which don't quite match Bo Allen's, but at least give the now Tampa Bay Buccaneer a run for his money. Here we are, though. 7 penalties for the Eagles, 8 for the Atlanta Falcons. That's a lot, isn't it? It's been a very penalty-heavy game, but none for the helmet hits just yet. Foles has got a long way to go to get in field goal range. Has 2 timeouts to help him. The Eagles quarterback takes a shot down the field. He's looking for Mike Wallace, and there's no PI there. And they're looking for one. The call doesn't come. And that would have been, I mean, the ball was on the money. It was a great pass by the Eagles quarterback. Wallace lining up in the slot. Just looked at, I mean, Nelson Aguilar was outside. Looked a bit stiff in his route, if I'm honest. Kept his body upright. He's looking for the ball. Got in behind Neal, who made a great play to get his body in the way of it. Great anticipation from a safety that went down with an injury not too long ago. Excellent effort. You've got to commend it. Second and 5. The Eagles still at their own maybe 16-yard line, and there is a timeout. It's been taken by the Eagles. You can't blame them for that. Peterson obviously a little bit agitated, knowing that he will get possession of the ball when it comes back out. But the Eagles, as of right now, it's going to be 3rd and 5 with 13 remaining. They've got to find a way around this. They need to find something before it is too late. Great play on that by Keanu Neal though. Was it a hold? I don't think so. There's general contact there. It's more Wallace, I think, trying to shrug his way and bully his way down the route. But Keanu Neal's bodily positioning, I mean, from that angle, that does look like a hold. Maybe that was actually, I mean, I didn't see it until that angle, but that's the thing, right? There's got to be conclusive evidence. Vic Beasley now back in the game. 2nd and 5 for the Eagles here. I believe this one's going to fall incomplete. And another deep shot. Yeah. 3rd and 5. Here we go. So, will the Eagles end up with a 4th down situation, or will they alternatively end up somehow moving the chains here? 3rd and 5, 18 seconds to go. Jim Schwartz looking already tired and frustrated. Can understand why the offense unable to do anything against this defense. Foles takes a screen and it's just not going to get anywhere. It's 4th down. If you're the Eagles, don't even think about going for that, or I may have a heart attack. Foles almost looks confused. Yeah, you just punt it away. You don't even take the risk. Although, I mean, it's Doug Peterson, right? So you can't blame him for giving it a go if he did. And so I'm still at 21 of you guys watching. So if you are down, or 14 of you now, sorry. So if you're in this chat, you've not said a word yet, do say hello. I'm literally here for you guys. If you want to ask questions, if you want to have a discussion, that's what I'm here for. If you've liked this stuff, let me know. If we get to 10 likes... I will do the second half as well. If we stay at 7, I will. I'll call it a half time because I could do with a little half time nap, I think, to say the least. But again, earlier kickoffs, we will do the entire game. 4th and 1, and iron leg Cameron Johnston has been so impressive, so impressive this afternoon. And he's going to hit one away, somehow gets it inside the 35, another flag, and that is the, I believe, 17th of the game. That's on the receiving team, so another Falcons penalty, that's their 9th of the game. My goodness me, what are we seeing today? Very tense affair, and that's just for roughing the punter, maybe. It was, late hit. It's so difficult for punters because you take one hit and it can end a career. Especially when your legs are very tense, like the muscles outright, and before you know it, that's it. But we are officially at half-time in South Philadelphia. 6-3 Falcons. That's the score as we go into the half. It's a low-scoring affair. It's a defensive standoff. But here we are, the NFL season underway. Nick Foles with a lot to do. Can the team get it done in the second half? We'll find out when we return. From myself, Liam Jenkins, thank you so much to everyone for tuning into this stream. We are going to call it a halftime, just because I think that as of right now, my voice isn't going to hang out much longer. It's been a tough week, and again, nearly 4 AM now, so for timing-wise, a little bit difficult. But if you've enjoyed it, please do subscribe. I'll still be on Twitter taking questions and things like that as well. And there will be a game report over at phillysportsnetwork.com after this game. So if you haven't already, please do go and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Endzone Live. And we'll try and shake things up with some cameras and things as well. But thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the discussions. We'll see you soon.